Good morning, afternoon, everyone. Happy Sunday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Sunday, August 25th, 2024. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? May I please have the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread? First card, we are starting our day off with today. Oh, the retrograde. What would the retrograde be if it wasn't for the 7 of Swords? Always coming up when we're doing our retrogrades. So this is just your reminder. You can all say it with me. You know what I say when this card comes up. We do not go back to the sword store for puppies or kittens. There is only one thing we go back to the sword store for, and that is more swords. Make sure a lot of this work that we're seeing that's occurring right now, the past coming back up to the surface, remember your own ability to navigate something in a way that doesn't energetically trigger you is indication of how far you have come. For a lot of the energy right now, we are seeing that a lot of this work during the retrograde, it's heavy, it's difficult, it's poking you at your egoic center. This is a reminder that the ego is not there to be protected. The ego is there to protect the inner self. So as long as you're navigating circumstances and situations right now, not taking things energetically personally, recognizing that others are also going through this retrograde, navigating them with the same level and degree of compassion that you yourself bring forth the circumstances or situations. This is what's going to make this retrograde a little bit energetically easier. But we see even now that some of this energy right now, navigating this retrograde, it is triggering, it is frustrating. For masculine and feminine energy right now, deep within divine union, a lot of this is coming through via the sense or space of energetic exhaustion. For masculine energy, this is requiring a little bit of patience right now. A lot of that patience, what we're especially seeing is a lot of the work that the masculine energy is navigating right now, deep within divine union, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, is what one does in modalities of stillness. If these are experiences where in the masculine energy you have a tendency of falling back into harmful coping mechanisms, bad modalities of thoughts, bad patterns at points of peace, this is a lot of the work that we may be seeing is being navigated right now with masculine. And what occurs right now in those modalities where you feel that possibility of slipping back into something that you feel was not best for you, but you choose to move forward. You recognize that you're having a breakthrough. Feminine, you may be feeling this as well. This is happening more in an internal place for feminine, because for a lot of the feminine energy right now, I want to say that experience of looking back on something, looking at something with new optics, with a heightened degree of perception. This is a lot of the feminine energy deep within divine union that is working on releasing grief, releasing bitterness, releasing frustration. Because for a lot of the energy deep within the divine union, that emotional unpacking that we see that has been occurring, some of those self-limiting beliefs. Why is this coming up to the surface right now for feminine? Because if these are modalities where feminine has found that there isn't a patience for oneself, that is a lot of the feminine energy that is recognizing those self-limiting beliefs that one may have felt like you didn't even put within yourself. Right? So we see even now, this is a lot of that energy having breakthroughs, but these are not just breakthroughs about moving towards spaces of convenience. This is the energetic equivalent of pushing out of your comfort zone while also redefining yourself and saying to oneself that you're not defined by your past. So we see even now, this is a lot of beautiful breakthrough energy, but it can feel frustrating. Like a lot of the energy deep within the divine union frequency is finding that place of navigating strong boundaries, specifically by having that point of recognizing where those boundaries may have felt like they were energetically crossed in the past. Now for masculine and feminine energy that is coming into divine union right now, this has more to do with that trust exercise that we've been seeing has been occurring for a lot of the energy coming into divine union. Because this is either the pathwork of identifying what you're planning on changing, things about the self that you recognized or you could not see were it not for the counterpart. And that is the energy that is prioritizing the energetic union so much that they're identifying and recognizing their own patterns in such a way that they're helping to heal things that they may have not even been able to see before. Now for masculine and feminine coming into divine union right now, a lot of this work that we're seeing that's coming into divine union right now, this is a bit of that energy that is moving very swiftly towards one another, for the sake of building into that space of recognizing that words mean nothing without action. So we see even now, if these are the energies that have gotten clarity both on the emotional, energetic feeling that exists between them, while also recognizing that path work and articulating about what that plan is going forward. We see even now a lot of that energy is moving very quickly, not wanting to fall back into experiences, not wanting to create that space of distrust as opposed to what is being articulated versus what is being done. While for masculine and feminine energy right now that is in separation, this is a lot of breakthrough energy, particularly and especially if these were energies that started to build forth into an energetic connection. And even now experiencing something where there may be a lot of articulations about the feelings, but if there isn't clarity that is being given in relationality to what that path forward is, this is a lot of that letting go energy. And what's beautiful about that and the breakthrough that's happening for a lot of the energy in separation is the observation of not wanting to repeat past cycles. The moment one sees something is the moment that one is able to be free of it. So if these are situations and circumstances wherein someone is recognizing the ability to articulate emotions is not the same as commitment. The only thing commitment is an ability to talk forward towards the future in relationality to what you aspire and desire to build with another. If these are energies that are recognizing an inability by means of a potential counterpart in order to do this, the breakthrough is the energy recognizing it sooner and being able to move forward with greater easement, not taking something personally, but being practical and recognizing that they've encountered something that isn't for them. We move towards our manifestation goals, not by saying yes to everything, but recognizing and registering what they are not. So we see even now that for a lot of the energy doing that, this is helping you right now move closer to partnership because you're observing what isn't for you in a way that you haven't before. Second card in our 5-card spread for today is, this is a lot of the energy in separation that is being very mindful and conscientious in remembering that not all relationships are equal. Looking at the quality and the characteristics of a relationship that someone is bringing forth is integral. So we see even now that the gift that may be occurring for energy, if in separation, even in these modalities where someone may have expressed or articulated what their emotions are, this is the energy that's recognizing that a healthy partnership is made up of 2 parts: the ability to articulate and express what the emotions are, and an ability to articulate how that changes the pathwork going forward. So this is the energy that either sees that combination of elements, which is moving them into divine union, or if it's not there, simply by way of recognizing it's not there, this isn't the energy trying to force that from another. This is the energy that recognizes that if you ask someone what their manifestation goals are towards you and they're not able to articulate them, that's either indicative of an energy that is too afraid to be able to talk towards what it is that they want going forward. They haven't built that ability of confidence in to articulate or do as they dream, something that is necessary in order to build into a divine union connection. Or this is energy that is not willing to co-create what that manifestation is, that there's something about their manifestation that they don't energetically want to reveal, because what they're saying in the moment of not articulating is, I don't want to co-create that with you. I want you to inhabit the space within it. So we see even now that for a lot of the energy navigating from that space, this is simply allowing and creating an ability of seeing, like, this is the energy that's saying I've seen, and this is the gift that some of the past may be allowing for energy that's seeing that. Because this is the energy that, again, is recognizing that the gift of a past that may have been difficult is it gives you clarity in terms of what you're seeing in the present. So we see even now a lot of that energy in separation is using that clarity in the past to steer them towards healthy energetic connections. And the way you steer towards healthy energetic connections is you recognize whether something is a healthy energetic connection or not. So we see that that's the ability of the energy that's either saying, like, letting go of something if they're not seeing the qualities and characteristics of a healthy connection, or having a conversation to try to interrogate or facilitate whether one is possible here. And in either modality, the value point that's occurring is the energy in separation that is navigating these scenarios via not just based upon the feeling that they have towards a counterpart, but really assessing and saying, what does the connection look like? What are the qualities and characteristics of the relationship itself? That is how we determine the health of the relationship, not just the way we feel about the energy connected to it. While for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union right now, this is the energy that's doing that work. And it doesn't require perfection in relation to past experiences. These are energies that are learning as they go. But again, the ability to articulate upon the past, but taking accountability in what one is hoping to change going forward, this is the energy that is healing in those modalities, because that past isn't being forgotten. It's not just being released. It's being held on to in a way, but in a productive way, in a way to facilitate and to heal. Because that is the memory of what one has learned that builds into the construct of being able to do something energetically better. So we see even now that this is the energy that is learning from their traumas. They're not in a place of blaming everything that's happened outside of the self. They're self-referential. They're learning as they go, but they're also being, and this is a lot of the energy that's speaking towards that coming into divine union right now. These are the energies that may be articulating and talking a lot about the past, either to talk into a modality of doing something better going forward, utilizing the past, finding the tools in the past that are helping you build forward as you go forward. While for energy deep within the divine union frequency right now, there's a lot of energetic empathy here. There's a lot of consideration. There's something very restorative that I see is occurring for a lot of the energy coming into divine union right now. It's hard though. Right? This is a lot of the energy right now that is working through. Like this is the energy, the gift that's occurring right now for the energy deep within the divine union is navigating in such a way of holding on to one another's burdens as if they were your own. I want to say some of the gift of being within divine union is often found simply in recognizing that when things are difficult, you know you're not carrying it by yourself. So we see even now that the ability of that energy to articulate upon that past in such a way. This is also the energy that's healing, because this is the energy that doesn't carry the wounds from the past forward. They're always being very mindful as to what feels like it is helpful, what feels like it's practical, what feels like it can heal. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now. Third card in our 5-card spread for today is, we have here our Knight of Cups in its reversal. Now, masculine and feminine energy deep within divine union right now. One of the things that we see is potentially occurring is a lot of breakthroughs in relationality to the emotional space of masculine. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. A lot of this work that I'm seeing that is occurring for energy deep within divine union is masculine having an ability to articulate upon things that they feel like they couldn't before. There's a lot of this empathy that's occurring right now within these connections. And that ability we're seeing even here of masculine to speak towards those experiences from the past, and potentially even saying, this is a lot of masculine getting things off of their chest that they feel like they may have felt like they had to carry in the past. You know, like working through a lot of this path work I'm seeing here. And the easement that's occurring within divine union is, again, that feeling, I want to say, this is the masculine energy looking towards feminine within divine union and appreciating that the masculine can articulate upon their feelings without the feminine energy taking something energetically personally. And for masculine working through a lot of that here, we see that for feminine energy, this is the feminine energy that may be feeling the same from masculine, right? That ability to articulate in a way of being able to be, I want to say, emotionally strong. The gift of being emotionally strong and confident in the self is that you don't take another person's emotions personally. You navigate them from a space of compassion. You navigate them from a space of wanting to help and do what's best. So we see right now that a lot of this work that is occurring is coming through by way of the energy speaking with appreciation towards one another in relationality to the easement by which it feels like there is a comfortability in that point of expression. Now, for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union right now, this is a lot of trust. This is a trust fall that I'm seeing. And that's why I see even now for a lot of this energy, this pathwork of correction, because I do see here that there is some pathwork of correction. This is either coming through via V masculine, being able to articulate upon what needed to change within the self prior to this, that is now allowing them to have an energetic breakthrough, right? Because there's a lot of this energy of masculine that may be recognizing and articulating and saying, I understand, and this is the lesson that's coming through with the energy that's coming into divine union. I understand that just expressing how I feel to you isn't enough to build an energetic commitment. Because when masculine just builds forth in a place where they want feminine to hold their emotions, but they don't create a space in terms of feminine understanding where they stay in the life of the masculine. This is the feminine masculine energy. I see a lot of the masculine energy coming into divine union saying, I recognize that feels like it's energetically one-sided, right? Because that's the masculine that only comes towards feminine by way of receiving, but not energetically giving. So we see here that there could be a lot of those conversations that are occurring right now for energy coming into divine union. And that's why we see even now, if these are energies that are coming into a moment of restoration and healing, there's a lot of that masculine energy I may be seeing is going towards feminine via V. Either they're saying to me via V apology for the masculine energy of the past, or apology of the masculine that was not able to show up in the way that they should have towards feminine in the past. Because here I see a lot of this masculine energy saying, I recognize that expressing my emotions towards you isn't enough to sustain a connection, because that's not commitment. Articulating and talking towards someone about how you feel isn't a commitment. That's just getting something off your chest. Commitment is the articulation of what the pathwork is going forward. So we see even now a lot of that energy is writing that and I see even now some masculine energy saying, I was not confident enough. I was not confident enough in the past to be able to build forward in this way. And I'm doing that work now. Like I see a lot of that masculine energy taking that level or degree of accountability. Or coming into that modality of saying, I see that the energy that previously came towards you was not confident enough in themselves to be able to build with you. While for masculine and feminine energy and separation right now, I see a lot of closing out of cycles. I see a lot of closing out of cycles. And one of the things I need to stress is occurring right now for some of the energy coming into divine union is I do see some energy right now that is separating. And I know you're going to say to me, why are you seeing energies separating that are still in the modality of divine union? I'm going to tell you right now, if these are energies that were clear to one another, if these were energies that articulated what the manifestation goals were, but determined that they were on different paths, they're still on the pathwork of divine union, because the ability of amplifying the choice, articulating the ability to co-create with someone and recognizing that you want different things, that doesn't move you out of alignment potentially into coming into divine union. The possibility exists wherein those manifestation goals could join at another point down the line. So we see even now there's a lot of that healthy separation energy that is healing the heart space in the process. The only spaces and places here that I'm seeing full separation occurring are modalities wherein someone is just expressing the emotionality of something, but not meeting that expression with an articulation about the manifestation goals going forward. Because this is a lot of energy experiencing that's articulating and clarifying to someone the difference between giving someone emotions and them feeling like they are a gift, because the gift is the expression of the emotions with the commitment, versus what feels like an energetic burden, which is when someone just gives you the emotions, but they don't tell you what to do with them. They just give them to you. They feel more like an anchor. They feel like more something that like is hard to carry. And there's no pathwork forward, because they just require you to be accessible towards them in such a way that they're not providing the clarity as to what that long-term pathwork is. So we see there that that's the energy I'm seeing in separation that is potentially moving into departure points, because that's the energy that's saying not only you're not building a healthy like energetic connection, because you're just trying to build the connection via the expression of how one feels, instead of building the safe, comfortable framework of what that means in the act of co-creating what that is, by allowing for the amplification of choice as to what will be held in the future. Fourth card in our 5 cards, and the frustration that I'm seeing in that is, if that's occurring, the question as to whether someone is not confident enough to be able to express what those desires are, or what those dreams are, or if this is someone who does not want to share their manifestation goal for fear that the counterpart might not jive with it. This is why so much of that energy is moving away, because this is the energy that's saying, even with the possibility being there that fear is the reason, it's too great a risk to take in relationality to what the alternative could be. Fourth card in our 5 card spread for today. If there's no path forward, there's no path forward. There's a lot of the energy here that's just using the clarity of observing and saying that commitment is a path forward. Commitment is clarity as to what the future holds. Commitment is clarity as to what the future holds. Now, we always know the future is not clear, but the gift of partnership is co-creating what that clarity will be if you're able to navigate that. So we see that this is the energy that we're identifying, that is recognizing and saying the path is either there or the path is not there. And if the energy is in such a space where someone has articulated to someone and said, what is it, like, it's not enough to just say that you desire. It's not just enough to say that you want. What do you want to do with it? Where do you want to go with it? If the energy just doesn't see that clarification as it relates to the goals, as it relates to the desire in terms of what one wants to create with another, this is the energy that's moving towards their manifestation goals simply by saying, and I'm going to say it again, this is coming through like wild, an energy that cannot articulate what they want to manifest is not moving towards your manifestation goals. Like, this is just the energy that I see a lot of energy in separation going, that's not my manifestation goal if they can't articulate what they want to manifest. Like, that's just the energy that's coming into that point. And that's a lot of the energy that's saying that the expression of emotions, the expression of the emotions are great, but you can't build with them. You can't walk forward with them when we don't give an articulation as to what our desires are in combination with our emotions. Then our emotions become a weight. They become an anchor. When we put the dream to our emotions, we give those emotions wings. We move them forward. So we see even now that for a lot of that energy, just recognizing the quality and characteristic of what is being brought forward, as opposed, like, the difference between someone saying, like, this is how I feel, this is what I desire, versus someone saying, this is what I want to create going forward with you. This is the energy that's just saying to themselves in separation. It's not that, like, once you recognize that, it's not that difficult. You just have to see if it's energetically there. So we see even now that a lot of that energy is just, they're using that qualifier to move them towards their manifestation goals of a healthy energetic connection. While for masculine and feminine energy that is coming into divine union right now, this is the energy that has that clarity. This is the energy that has that clarity. The anxiety point is the ability to fulfill that. The anxiety point is whether that energetic pathway is clear. The anxiety point that we're effectively seeing here is existent in the ability of trusting one another in that process. And that's why I see a lot of this energy moving very quickly right now in those experiences, to try to build forth in that way with counterpart, because a lot of this energy that I'm seeing in that modality right now is not wanting to waste any time, because I feel like this is the energy. It's like when you find someone in alignment that desires the same things as you and has the same emotions, it feels like you found everything you're energetically looking for. This is the energy going, I found what I'm looking for. And so this is the energy that's moving very quickly in those directions, because things get a lot easier when you want the same things. Masculine and feminine energy, that is deep within the divine union right now, this is a lot of, I gotta say, this is a lot of energy providing support to those around them. I see that a lot of this energy deep within the divine union right now is working very, very much on connections. There's a lot of, like, there's something about this stillness right now. There's something about this slowdown that is helping to restore and firm up energetic connections to a certain extent. There's a lot of healing that's happening right now within the divine union, but a lot of that is based upon and built upon that sense of energetically connecting to others right now, and almost coming into that point of emotional support, emotional stability. You know, that's why I was saying, even now, remember what I was telling you guys, don't take any distance right now, energetically, personally. Don't do it. Tell me you won't do it. Tell me you're not going to get all tied up in a knot if someone's taking a while to get back to you right now, because you might feel a little bit energetically silly if you find out they were dealing with a lot. I'm just seeing this to a certain extent. This is a lot of this work on this retrograde. Extend the amount of compassion that you want for yourself to those around you right now. It'll help you with this retrograde. Fifth card in our 5-card spread for today is, please listen to me when I tell you that right now. We've got here our 5, geez Louise, we got here our 5 of Swords. Okay, look at this. Look at all this retrograde energy we got happening right now. We got our 7 of Swords and our 5 of Swords. So, a lot of this work that's happening right now, deep within the divine union. It's heavy energetically. I gotta stress, it's heavy energetically right now. Because some of this that I'm seeing, it's like, I want to say there's a lot of work that's happening within the divine union right now in the observation between what feels like it can heal versus what feels like it can't. Like what feels like it can change versus what feels like it's more of the same, like something feels energetically unhelpful, right? And so we see even here a lot of this work is just, it's getting to the heart of things. Is what I'm seeing. It's just getting to the heart of some stuff. It's having a lot of heart-to-hearts. And some of this here, I think that the important thing that's happening is there's healthy boundaries that are occurring around some things right now that are allowing for energetic unpacking in ways that could not be unpacked in the past. And that's as a result of seeing the energetic confidence that so much of the energy within divine union is bringing forth around circumstances or situations. Because I told you there's been a lot of work that's been occurring for energy within divine union in feeling the confidence to assert and to rest upon strong energetic boundaries. Masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union right now. This is the energy that's working on healing the past in big triumphant ways right now, coming into divine union. And this is not energy that is perfect. I'm going to tell you right now, nobody's perfect. None of us are perfect. We move towards perfection by being mindful of trying to. So this is the energy that is recognizing what they are planning on changing, coming into that modality of restoration, having those moments. And I even see a lot of this energy apologizing for themselves. And I see the energy coming into divine union saying no apologies necessary, right? Because this is the energy that is working very hard not to create energetic blockages, right? Like this is the energy that's like almost saying to one another, I don't want to create the blockage here. I don't want to create that hurdle. So what we're recognizing here for so much of this energy coming into divine union, this is the energy that's really feeling like there's some beautiful restoration and healing that's happening here. And that's either experiencing something via a new energetic counterpart that's building closure on past experiences, or this is the energetic equivalent of having someone coming towards you in a way that they're able to take accountability. They're able to articulate upon what those failure points were in the past, but more so are able to recognize and identify, and I'll point this out, this will be the difference here, the energy that's already put themselves on that path of energetic change. This isn't energy that is promising someone that they will change. This is energy that is showing someone that they have. While for masculine and feminine in separation right now, this is the energy that may be recognizing something from the past in another, or receiving something from the past and feeling, I feel like there's some kind of this energy here, and this is the gift of the past right now. Because if this is energy that went through experiences in the past where they were overly blaming themselves, where they were letting themselves get like bogged down and saying nothing I can do can change something, the light bulb, the light bulb that's coming through right now, and it's coming through because of the energy in the divine union, it's coming from the divine union going towards the energy and separation, is if you're facilitating something in such a way, if you're doing everything you can and you're saying to yourself that nothing is working, the question you need to say to yourself, instead of what else do I have to do, is what you are trying to have occur the nature of the energetic relationship that you're in? Because if you're doing everything you can to try to facilitate a change in something, and you are not the only person in the energetic connection, and nothing that you're doing can facilitate the change that you desire to see, that is because you are not the only person in the energetic connection. So a lot of this energy is recognizing the significance and value of a counterpart that is also wants to do that work. And you cannot bring someone into the modality of desiring to do that work unless they willingly want to. So we see even now, this is the energy that is building into a point of balance in recognizing what is within one's own power to change versus what it is that you're effectively receiving from counterparts. So if these are circumstances or situations where the energy is just receiving someone that is trying to maintain a connection by articulating how they feel, instead of identifying what it is or how it can change, this is the energy that's saying, well, there's the problem, right? Because you cannot build a healthy partnership simply out of the expression of emotions. That is like the energy without the framework of a system. The bones of a relationship, the architecture of a relationship is discussing what the framework is, what it is contained within. And so this is the energy that's recognizing that if someone is not able to articulate to you and speak towards you about the nature of the thing that you're creating with them, it's either because they're not in a modality where they're thinking towards it, or they don't want to be committed to creating one with you. So we see even now that a lot of that energy, recognizing and identifying that, is allowing that to be the clarification point, and just focusing again, prioritizing a healthy energetic connection. And that ability to recognize and identify that is what is allowing for that pathwork of potentially, again, we move towards our manifestation goals by recognizing where they are not. So a lot of this energy may be having a breakthrough right now and just moving onwards from something because they're not recognizing and receiving the things that they need, that they know are the important tools that identify someone that is able to build with you in a healthy energetic connection. And that ability to see that and be referencing something from your past, being like, this looks familiar, that's the gift of the past that's coming forward right now, because this is the energy going, oh, all right, cool. Like, I'm not repeating that cycle. I've recognized it. I see it, right? Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, between our Seven of Swords in combination with our Six of Cups in its upright. May I please have one card? May I please have one card to clarify, please? Clarification coming through right now with Justice card in its reversal. So the beauty that's occurring right now for some of the energy in separation is just seeing the imbalance. It's remembering and recognizing that not all relationships are equal. Some energy does not desire a balanced partnership. Some energy does not desire divine union. Some energy would be is like, it's not for everybody. Not coming into the pathwork of assuming that someone desires the same exact thing that you do requires the introspection in relationality to what one is seeking. And if someone cannot articulate upon what one is seeking, that either indicates an inability to think, like to move towards something with intentionality, or it indicates someone that is not desiring to express their manifestation goals because they don't feel that you yourself may desire them. So the ability of choice, the ability of giving, and this is why I'm telling you even now, I see some energy in separation that is still in divine union. And I'm going to say, don't get yourself, don't tell me, don't be like, The energy that is in this knows this, because the energy that knows that they are in separation is the energy that recognizes they have different manifestation goals. The energy that is in divine union, that is in separation, is the energy that understands, that can tell you with complete clarity. They can pick up, they could say, I know exactly how that person feels about me. I know exactly that what they want is not the same thing that I desire. And this is the energy right now that is potentially in separation, but still in divine union, because that is the energy that feels the weight of what they feel for one another, but they understand with clarity the reasons why. That is the only modality I'm seeing where there's, because the recognition point that the fact that those manifestation goals could potentially change. And when they change, they know it. That's healthy, because that is the energy that understands with full clarity the reasons why there is an energetic separation there. And even there, that is the energy that is giving each other the gift of healing by articulating and giving one another the choice in understanding what each's manifestation goal is. So that way they can facilitate healthy partnership or healthy separation. While for the energy right now that is coming like deep within the divine union, this is the energy that is healing from past experiences wherein that wasn't given. By recognizing it and seeing it in the present context. Having that ability to see it, the gift of building forward in that way. This is the energy that's healing from a lot of those trauma of those experiences wherein that may not necessarily have occurred. Continuing to get clarification between our Six of Cups in its upright and our Knight of Cups in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Four of Cups in its upright. So again, the love, the compassion is existent in the choice. So for a lot of this energy right now that is navigating those spaces and places, masculine and feminine, bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. I see even here a lot of that energy of masculine right now that is like the beauty of coming into divine union has to do with masculine being able to perceive things right now from a different level or layer of clarity. Because if these are experiences in the past wherein masculine felt like there wasn't that ability to articulate their emotions, feminine never being in a space where it felt like it was safe to be able to do so. Feminine, masculine now being in that count with the energetic counterpart where they're learning that ability to be able to speak towards their heart's desire. We recognize and we see even here that for a lot of that energy doing that work, it becomes that expansive point. Because a lot of that energy that I'm seeing right now within divine union is seeing things in a whole different way. So is feminine. The difficulty for feminine right now has to do with the recognition point I feel like there's a lot of feminine energy within divine union right now that is potentially looking at those past experiences in relationality to the unhealed karmic connections, and they're getting a lot of clarity in relationality to understanding just how imbalanced they were. Like just that understanding is one that's happening for both masculine and for masculine. It's more of a journey of the self. It's more of a journey inwards. There's a lot of masculine energy that is seeing things from a different perspective, because the ability to feel, giving oneself the ability to feel, is helping you see things from a different perspective where you may have been more closed off emotionally. Feminine, this is harder right now. It's more frustrating because this is feminine potentially taking off the weight of blaming oneself, seeing things with a different optic when you don't assume that you were the one that was the energetic problem. Masculine and feminine energy that is coming into divine union. A lot of this work that we're seeing coming into divine union right now, it's the gift of choice. The energy that's coming into divine union is the energy that's navigating forward from the gift of choice. Now, and I'm telling you even now, I see two different modalities of energy that's in divine union in this modality. One are energies that are in separation, may still be in some kind of form of divine union, because the ability to recognize, to give each other the grace of having a choice and saying what you desire to manifest and what I desire to manifest are not the same manifestation. Like that ability and just healthy separation, right? That there's no conflict there. The understanding comes in the recognition of, like, we heal the unhealthy karmic connections when we understand, we diagnose and we recognize the nature and the reason why. So the ability to do so leaves that possibility of something changing, the manifestation goals that may one day be able to be merged, or that someone may change their manifestation goal that would then thereby allow for the ability of someone to come back into connection with a counterpart. The other energy that I see, they've already done so. This is the energy that has met that combination of being able to both articulate the emotions, but also give the commitment in relationality to the path going forward. And that mode of accommodation, those adjustments, that's where we're seeing even here. This is the energy that can't move fast enough, because this is the energy that's feeling that anxiety of building into that place of a trust test, of feeling that uncertainty and hoping that someone does not just feel like those are words, but trying to put action towards those words. While for masculine and feminine in separation right now, this is why some of these separations that I'm seeing right now, there's no coming back from, to a certain extent. Because if these are modalities where someone someone just articulates the emotions, but isn't giving clarity in relationality to what they desire and aspire going forward. This is the energy that feels the frustration of saying you're not giving, this is the energy that's either trying to introspect and say, what is that path forward? And if someone is not able to, a lot of the energy in separation is either looking at it out of one of two different modalities, either looking at something and saying, either you don't know what you want, or you don't want to tell me what you want. And if you don't want to tell me what you want, then you're not giving me a choice to move towards you in it. So we see even now that there's something about that is creating, I can almost see the energy articulating that to one another and saying, you cannot build a relationship is not built on the expression of emotions. It's built on the clarity of what the relationship is, how it exists, what that architecture is. Continuing, and that's the energy saying, you're either confused. So this is the energy literally saying in separation, if that's occurring, you're either very confused or you're trying to confuse me. That's literally the energy saying that in separation. You're either very confused or you're trying to intentionally confuse me. And that's the energy that's almost saying in separation, either one of those is not, it's the same. It's the same. It's sadly, it's the same. It's the same energetic outcome to a certain extent. While continuing to get clarification between our Knight of Cups and its reversal in combination with our Ten of Wands and its reversal. One card to clarify. clarification coming through right now with our Knight of Pentacles. And so the hard part, I need to stress this right now, the hard part that is potentially occurring in these modalities where that's happening is the frustration in not being able to tell if it's one or if it's the other, because they look exactly the same, right? They look exactly the same. The difference between someone that is not able to articulate what the manifestation goal is, that is just expressing this is the most painful thing, okay? The difference between recognizing the difference between someone that has not found the confidence to be able to articulate what their dreams are versus someone who knows fully what their intentions are, but they're unwilling to share them because they don't think another would be invested in them if they knew what they were. These two look exactly alike. Do you understand this? They look exactly alike. There's no telling the difference. And unfortunately, while one is, you see this, one has higher intentions, the pathwork becomes the same. The uncertainty and the intentionality of moving with confusion, it doesn't matter because they ultimately lead potentially to the same outcome. And this is why the energy is potentially saying in those modalities, one is recoverable. You understand that? One has the potentiality to heal. The other one, both have the potentiality to heal, but something here is I need to identify. I got to just stress this to everybody here. If you're moving towards manifestation goals that you don't feel comfortable telling other people, I don't think I need to be the one to tell you why that's not a good thing. I don't think I need to be the person to tell you. I hope I don't have to be the person to tell you why that, the countless reasons as to why that might not be positive. Because it doesn't allow for the viability of choice. Love is choice. Love is choice. So we see even now that ability of recognizing that this is the energy that's basically saying in either modality, the love is the choice of the expression. And if you cannot express what you desire, then all you're doing in sharing one's emotions towards someone is talking about what you desire from them instead of what you want to give to them. So we see even here a lot of that energy just kind of saying the energy, and that's why we see even now the energy that is coming into that place of articulating what that is. Having those modalities of someone saying, listen, I'm not judging what your choices are, but what you desire and what I desire are different things. This is the energy that immediately heals those energetic connections, because this isn't the energy that's looking towards one another and judging each other if they have different manifestation goals. This is just the energy that's acknowledging and saying to one another, we want different things. What are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do? This is the energy that just comes into that modality and immediately heals, because the energy says, that's okay. I'm not going to take that personally. I don't need this is the energy that says thank you in that moment of separation, because they say, I don't have to worry and wonder as to that being the reason as to why. I understand that desire of wanting something else immediately heals, and the ability of receiving that heals going forward. While for a lot of this energy right now that's coming deep within divine union, this is the energy that's just, again, reaffirming their own energetic commitment towards one another in the process, right? I see that a lot of the energy right now within divine union, that's what I mean about not taking anything personally right now, because for a lot of this energy coming deep within divine union, if things are difficult right now, recognizing and registering that you're not the only person. This is the energy that's again, they're not taking it personally if someone's not getting back to them, if something is taking longer, because the energy is recognizing deep within divine union that the ability to prioritize, that is something that you have to have patience on. Right? Because this is the energy that doesn't take things personally in that way. They get productive. They don't demand the energetic attention of others. They just continue forward in the way that they navigate. So then we see even here, this is again, a lot of this energy is extending and providing that context of compassion and grace to others, because they recognize and they understand that and that's why I'm telling you this particular retrograde is difficult. Because if you're getting reactive right now, if you're letting your ego get wounded because something's not moving at the speed you desire, this might be that moment that you're starting to get the clarification as to why. And that's why I've been telling you guys, make sure that you're not taking things personally right now, because you never know what's going on with another person. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Ten of Wands and its reversal in combination with our Five of Swords. Clarification coming through right now. We've got here our Fool and its reversal. I told you, when things don't get personal, get productive. Don't get personal, get productive. I've been saying this for the last 2 weeks over and over. It's a message that just keeps coming through. Don't get personal, get productive. Continue to do that work. Continue to move forward. Because that ability of doing so, like that, this can be a very expansive point right now. This can be a very creative moment. This can be a lot of opportunities potentially opening up. The retrograde, I'm going to say this right now, the retrograde is not here to ruin your life. I know you sometimes feel like it is. I know that you sometimes feel like it is. It's not here to ruin your life. It's helping you recognize the difference between a groove and a rut. It's helping you recognize the difference between a groove and a rut. And so again, not letting yourself feel like when you're feeling like if you're starting to feel like you're in a rut during the retrograde, well, now's a good time to get productive. Let that be a bit, like, let some of that change energy in. Let that be an expansion point. Don't start taking it out on everybody around you, or stomping your feet about it. Continuing to get clarification for masculine and feminine coming into divine union. A lot of this work coming into divine union right now. I see 2 different modalities: path work, plans, affirmations, commitment towards that. And I even see some energy here that's potentially healing, because again, I need to stress here the difference between recognizing someone that is able to articulate change is not the energy that says, I will change. I see a lot of energy coming towards someone coming into divine union and say, I have changed. And I'm here to show you that that's already occurred. Because when we build into that pathwork of change, we don't do it for the sake of an energetic counterpart. We do it for ourselves. So we see here that so much of this work that's occurring, this is energy that's setting themselves on that path. And this is the beauty of a path of intention. That trust. This is requiring trust. But this is the energy that's building the trust in the self in the process. Because that ability of looking towards counterpart and feeling that uncertainty, even having a little bit of that like whispering in your ear saying, like, what if this isn't true? I'm going to say it even now. The shadows, the past casts long shadows, but we walk towards the light. We don't assume that the past is going to repeat itself, because when we assume the past is repeating itself, we enact the past occurring. So for a lot of the work right now in retrograde, this is that ability of walking towards the light, moving away from those shadows of the past that cast those long shadows, especially in those spaces of feeling like that need to have to trust someone in relationality to what they're saying versus what you hope to be true. But this is the energy that assumes, that builds into that pathwork of, again, intentionality in saying, in trusting one another. And again, remembering trust is earned via the component of time. But a lot of this energy that's how, because this is the energy that is committing on the path of saying, I know that trust is earned, and I'm going to show you that by committing that sense of commitment towards you again and again and again and again and again. So this is the energy that's building into that consistency via trusting one another along the way, not demanding that trust, but working to earn it. While for masculine and feminine energy, this is why if these are circumstances where the energy is like just coming towards someone and saying, here are my emotions, trust me. And if this is the energy that's in separation, that someone's saying, this is how I feel about you. And then this is the energy that's saying, but what do you want to build with me? And this is the energy saying, I want you to trust me. This is the energy going, those are not the same things. Like, emotions don't build trust. Pathwork builds trust. Like, this is, I can literally see a lot of energy in separation, like hitting a logical fallacy point with someone and saying what you feel is not commitment. Commitment is commitment. Commitment is commitment. Like I can see someone like saying to someone, commitment is only one thing. Commitment is the ability to articulate about what something is and what it will be going forward. And so there's a lot of energy right now that's also recognizing that if someone's not articulating that, or someone's acting like they don't energetically understand that, then again, one of two different modalities is occurring. Someone doesn't understand that. You can't build with them. If you're handing someone like a hammer and you're handing someone a saw and they're going, I don't know what these things are. You look at them and you say, I cannot work with you here. Like you're showing me that I cannot do this. Like you're showing me that you don't have the tools capable in building this with me, right? Or this is the energy that's looking towards someone and saying, do you actually not know how to build this? Or are you just expressing the emotions, and are you just asking for trust that has not been earned, but also not building into a space or place of articulating what something is in terms of saying, let's just see what happens. And this is a lot of energy saying, let's just see what happens isn't commitment. That's the commitment to saying, like, that's just saying like let's just live in the present moment, is basically an affirmation saying, I don't want to energetically commit, right? Like, I don't want to energetically commit. So we see even now a lot of energy. I just see a lot of energy just moving forward, just going, like just moving on. Like not, and I have to stress the gift here is the fact that some of the energy here is going, thank you to the past. There's something here that some energy is looking at the past going, thank you. Like that, this is the energy going, thank you. I got a lot of clarity now. I see it now. Like this is the energy going, I'm moving toward my manifestation goal and I can see what it's not. Continuing to get clarification between our Justice card in its reversal in combination to our Four of Cups in its upright. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Page of Cups. So for masculine and feminine energy, in separation, I have to stress this. This is the thing about this that I'm seeing here for a lot of the energy in separation. I even see a lot of energy in separation that are literally saying to someone, you know, I would have been up for whatever your manifestation goal was. I can actually see some energy saying this to someone. I would have been up for whatever your manifestation goal was. But the fact that you didn't let me have an energetic choice as to what that is, this is the energy that's basically saying, like, I can see them almost talking to someone new and saying, yeah, they just wouldn't tell me. This is the energy that's almost saying, like, this is the energy that's literally saying, like, the fact of moving. Like, I get here some energy right now in separation saying the audacity. The audacity. Like this is the energy. Like there's a lot of this energy here that is potentially even like I see a lot of energy in separation potentially speaking towards new energetic connections and saying, yeah, the audacity. I was just moving away from a connection where I would have been up for whatever they were trying to manifest, but they wouldn't tell me what they wanted to manifest. And look, here's new energy right here. This is like literally new, like moving forward, the ability to not, like, again, not take it personally, immediately tell someone else. Be like, you want to know what I just went? I can see someone going, you want to know what just happened to me? Like this is energy that's already talking about something like this occurring to a new energetic connection because it's the observational point of being able to say the lack of choice. The lack of clarification was the indication of something that wasn't moving in a positive direction. I just see even now like the ability of the energy to recognize that and just move forward from it. But again, feeling a lightness in their heart because they're not taking it personally. They're just recognizing that it's happening. This is the energy that's like having a breakthrough, but the breakthrough is, again, the strengthened ego. I told you, you're going to come out. I told you, don't, like, I keep telling you guys, the importance about putting your ego aside right now during this retrograde is you're going to find a much stronger ego behind it. Like, that's what happens when you move the ego away. There's another ego behind it. Like, so we see even now, like, a lot of that energy working through that. Like there's new positivity here. I see a lot of this energy feeling the relief because they're focusing on what those manifestation goals are. While for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union right now, a lot of this work that I'm seeing with the energy coming into divine union And I need to stress this. I see two different modalities. I either see energy that's come into separation, energy that's in divine union with one another, that's come into separation, immediately healed, immediately content with where they find themselves. Because the sense of not taking something personally, the sense and the space of having that clarification, giving each other the compassion and the choice, and then choosing to move forward on their own pathwork. This is the energy that feels like they've been given a beautiful gift from one another, because the same clarity is what they're navigating and maintaining as the energetic standard going forward as they continue on their own journeys. While for masculine and feminine energy deep within divine union right now, you know, the beauty of this for a lot of the energy coming into divine union right now is that recognition point that I'm seeing that so much of this work is happening here. That this is energy within divine union trying to find ways of bringing more delight into the day-to-day experience. I just see this even now. This is the energy that has been navigating difficulties during this retrograde and are working with a lot of determination to be able to bring things into a point of greater easement for one another in the process. And I think that that's very, I think there's something there very beautiful, because a lot of this work, it's not that things are perfect, but it's a gift that one is able to give one another as you do so, that takes a heavy burden and makes it feel like a joy. Like I can see a lot of the energy deep within divine union saying it's a joy to do this. It's a joy to go through these difficulties with you. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Four of Cups in combination with our Knight of Pentacles in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Six of Wands in its reversal. It's, the energy today, it's like, I know it's hard. I can see it. I know it's really, there's a lot of frustrations that are being navigated right now. I see even now a lot of that energy within divine union having to navigate circumstances or situations. And this is why I kept saying it's really important that you didn't take things personally during this time. Because I see even here that ability to recognize and understand what someone else is energetically going through right now. Like that's a lot of that compassion that's coming to the focus. Because a lot of this work that we're seeing that's occurring during this particular retrograde is the understanding. And this is why I told you not to take something personally. Maybe learning or hearing about something that you didn't know about a circumstance or situation that may have affected your own ability to take something personally. So just be mindful of that today. Make sure that you're giving others the same amount of compassion that you would give yourself in processes. Because I see even here, there's like a lot of energy. This has been, they're saying to me, like, this retrograde has been hard for everybody. And anything that you've been going through, assume that everyone else has been going through it too. Don't hear hoofbeats and assume zebras. Assume that they're horses, because giving someone the benefit of the doubt right now is really important. Now, for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union, this is why, again, don't let those shadows of the past cast doubt on anything that you're moving towards right now. Because I see even now that for a lot of that energy coming into divine union right now, those anxieties, those fears from the past, the uncertainty, the worry of something from the past repeating itself, I want you to ask yourself, did you get this level or degree of clarity in the past? Like if there's something here that you're moving towards and someone has provided that clarity and context, but you're having the anxieties and fears because someone in the past wouldn't give you that, like let that reaffirm you to a certain extent. Because I see even now that so much of this energy coming into divine union right now, it's making you face your own doubts and fears in the process. But not reacting to those, but rather observing them and letting your intention guide you at this time is very important. While for masculine and feminine energy, that is in separation. There's a lot of energy in separation right now that's just coming into the point of observation in relationality to what someone is emotionally giving you. Whether, and again, this is the practicality, this is the gift of some of this retrograde. Emotions, it's not that emotions aren't important, but relationships are built on things more or beyond just emotions. Emotions are one thing. That's longing. Longing is the expression of emotions without commitment placed towards them. The difference between commitment and longing is someone desiring the desire to have someone, but not giving clarity as to what that is in the long term. Commitment comes forward in the ability to someone expressing both the emotions and also the ability to desire to build forward and co-create with someone what that future will be. And so I see even now a lot of that energy moving towards manifestation goals and just looking at something and saying it's either there or it's not. It's either present or it's absent. And this is the energy that, unfortunately, if these are modalities where someone's not certain if the reason someone isn't able to bring that forth is due to their own fear, or because they don't think their manifestation goals would be desired by the energetic counterpart, this is the energy that kind of looks at something and says, doesn't matter. Like, unfortunately, those are the same in the wash. The reasons behind whether someone isn't able to articulate upon what they desire to build with someone versus someone having a manifestation goal that is not in alignment, they don't feel as would be in alignment with someone else. If neither is able to express it, it leads to the same energetic outcome to a certain extent. So we see even now, like, there's a little bit of this energy that's feeling frustrated. But the important thing is the fact that the energy is frustrated. They're not taking it personally. You're not overly internalizing it. You're just accepting it for what it is. And this is the energy that's just kind of moving forward. And moving forward in that way is the breakthrough. Continuing to get clarification between our Knight of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our Fool in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Seven of Pentacles in its upright. Again, this is a lot of this energy and separation that's building into that path of when we're building towards manifestation goals, we have to be patient. And we have to surrender the energetic outcome. And what do we mean by surrendering the energetic outcome? We don't just move towards anything and say yes. We have to be ready to basically say, I'm willing to go without. I'm willing to go without, as opposed, because that is what I'm choosing. Like, this is the energy that's basically willing, that's like recognizing that moving towards that isn't just grabbing something and saying like, okay, you have to be my manifestation goal. I know you're not giving any indication of being it, but be my manifestation. Like, it doesn't work like that. You have to be willing. It's about finding it. It's about being willing to be patient to find what it is you're trying to manifest. So we see even now a lot of that energy navigating in that way is building into that sense of finding contentment within the self, having that ability of feeling energetically complete, so that when you find it, you feel like you're already inhabiting it, because you don't feel like you need it. It's just something that you want to grow in a bigger way around you. So we see even now, like, a lot of that energy navigating in that space, they're growing within themselves. They're being mindful. They're looking towards others in such a way of saying, I want someone that's able, that isn't going to change me energetically, that isn't going to change everything, that's going to allow what I'm doing to grow in such a way. So this is that energy that's saying, better to pour that energy back into the self, so that when I find the energetic counterpart, they're able to see me more clearly. So we see even now, like, that's that energy that isn't taking it personally. They're not trying to change. This isn't energy trying to change to suit an energetic companion. This is energy that's focusing on their manifestation goals and recognizing that the energy that wants what they want will be doing same, and will also be able to see that and identify it when they recognize it. So we see even now, like, a lot of this energy building into this path of patience. There's a lot of this release that we're seeing here that's helping effectively bring you forth towards what it is that you aspire and desire. Now, for masculine, and this is the energy that's like, this is why if someone isn't able to articulate on their manifestation goals, a lot of the energy right now is so focused on the manifestation goals. They're like, well, I can't build with someone that doesn't know what they want. That's clearly not the person that desires the same manifestation goals. Now, for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union, a lot of this work that we're effectively seeing right now coming into divine union has to do with these circumstances or experiences wherein this is the energy that's making the plans. This is the energy that's changing the plans, because I see even now 2 different modalities of energy that's in divine union right now. Okay? There's either the energy that is come into healthy separation. That is the articulation of what the manifestation goals are, the recognition of wanting different things, even in separation, having a bit of a wait and see, saying, one thing about that is the past is never, there could be a moment of someone's manifestation goals changing. But this is not energy that's waiting in that modality. This is energy that's going, the gift is that they're not making one another wait. The gift is that they showed one another love by sending them forward. And even here we see that those are energies that are continuing to grow on their own direction. And what could occur in the future is up to fate. Like, that's up to their own path work, potentially changing in some way. But they're not waiting for one another. You see this. They gave each other the gift of energetic release as they continued forward on their own path work. While for the other aspect here of the energy that's actually moving deeper into divine union right now, these are the changes to the plans. These are the modifications. These are the adjustments. These are navigating the hurdles and difficulties, but doing so together, right? Because this is the energy that is prioritizing what they're creating together. And in the modality of doing that, there are some interruptions, there are some adjustments that are being made to plans, but they don't feel, you see this, they don't feel like that big a deal, because what you're choosing to grow between one another feels like that has become the energetic priority. Continuing to get clarification here between our Page of Cups in combination with our Six of Wands and its reversal. One card to clarify. Clarification coming through right now with our Five of Pentacles in its reversal. Now, masculine and feminine energy deep within divine union. Look at all this healing. Look at all this healing that's coming through. Because this is the energy that, like, I have to stress here, the healing that occurs in these modalities right now. And I told you, this is the same message that just keeps coming through over and over. And I know I sound like a little bit of a broken record right now in relationality to this message, but it's just been coming through over and over during this retrograde. Don't take it personally. Get practical. Doing something in such a way right now, that energetic easement, that ability to stay, like, I need to stress this. If things are dark, become the flashlight. If things are heavy, like, be the energy that brings that adjustment here. Because we see even now that for so much of this energy here, we see so much of this work that's happening right now. Everyone's feeling very energetically low, right? We lift each other up. This is the message of Leo season. We lift each other up, because what else would we do, right? What else would we do? You want to just move? We always have to move. We always have to move upwards. We always do that, even when things are energetically difficult. That is how we move forward, right? That is how we maintain, and the ability of recognizing that. Like, not allowing oneself to be overcome by the frustrations, not allowing one. It's not, I want to say this. This isn't that modality of falsehood and not feeling what one feels. but like the choice in how you carry a burden, like that is always up to you, right? Like how you choose to carry something is always a choice, right? You know, how you choose to carry it, that is always the choice that we're always given. So we see even now that a lot of that energy within the divine union, this could be a little, if there's, I want to say stuff, I need to stress here, this could be, this is where some of this frustration may be coming through right now for some of the energy within the divine union. Because if these are modalities where someone is navigating or tackling and someone is making that accusation towards something, someone within divine union saying, it's so easy for you. It's so easy for you. This could be a lot of energy within divine union going, it's not easy for anyone. It's not easy for anyone. If you would think that anything is easy for anyone, there is your misconception. We have to assume that everyone is carrying the heaviest load you can ever imagine on them at every moment. That is how you treat one another with kindness. That is how you treat one another with care. You don't judge the weight that everyone's carrying. You just assume that everyone is carrying the heaviest burden that they can imagine at every moment. And that creates a little bit of easement in relationality to how you treat one another in the process. So we see that that's a lot of the lesson that's coming through for a lot of the energy within the divine union frequency right now. While for masculine and feminine energy that is coming into divine union, this is the energy that is working towards that prioritization point in relationality to helping to heal here. Because I see even now that active energetic compassion that was occurring in some of these spaces and places, that modality of experiencing something for masculine and feminine, there's a lot of, I want to say, there's some energy here that's coming into that point of correction in terms of saying they haven't been perfect in the past, but being able to come into alignment, that's that recognition point that like, if these are the energies that were always like, I was waiting for the right time to come into union, this is the energy that's recognizing and saying, I know that time never comes. There's never a moment that is perfect for that to occur. The moment is perfect in the moment that you choose to do it. And in that moment, it'll always feel very difficult and disruptive because there's never a perfect moment until you create it. So we see even now, this is why so much of that energy, I got to tell you, there's a little bit of this like fire that's being kicked here for some of the energy coming into divine union, because the energy is going, what are we waiting for? like, what are we waiting for? Well, and this is why, and this same fire, I'm telling you, because this is all that pre-eclipse stuff that's about to start hitting us. For the energy right now, this is why I can see some energy moving away from something with so much tenacity. Because for a lot of the energy in separation, the audacity is coming through right now in the feeling of someone energetically wasting your time. So if these are lessons, this is the lesson. If these are the lessons that are coming through in these experiences where you spent a lot of time trying to fix something, only to ask yourself after you left it, what if that was exactly what someone desired it to be, and I was the only one trying to fix it into something that someone else did not desire it to be? This is the energy that's, again, saying that the relief and the release is saying, my time is precious. My time is valuable. I don't have time to build into waiting for someone to determine what it is that they want. This is the energy saying that has to be the first thing. That has to be the first thing that's brought forth. That needs to be right out the gate. That's the energy that's learning and taking that as the energetic lesson moving forward, saying, state your business. Like, state your business. What do you want? Like, you don't just come up to the counter and you don't know what you want. What do you want? So we see even now a lot of that energy is working on building into that space of not being afraid. What happens? We build into the point of the gift of this coming out of this Leo retrograde is the confidence of saying what you desire. Because by articulating what you desire, you immediately call forth in someone else. Saying, this is what I want. What do you want? State your business, right? So a lot of this work is coming through right now. Like the gift of coming out of this retrograde is a sense of confidence in being able to articulate what it is that you desire from counterpart. Almost like right out the gate is what I'm getting. Right out the gate. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now is the Seven of Wands in its reversal, and the I apologize, the Six of Wands in its reversal in combination with the Seven of Pentacles in this reversal. We like this. We're seeing progress. We're getting a lot of progress now as we move down the cards in terms of things moving forward. Patience and progress. The patience is the progress. The patience is the progress. Okay? The patience is the progress. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Knight of Wands in its reversal. Energy that's not patient hasn't made progress. Energy that's not patient hasn't made progress. So we see even now that's I have to stress this is why, because so why the patience is in the progress is because patience is in the progress is being said because there's the determinative difference between the ability to reveal something and being patient towards building it. Because it is the understanding that when we articulate our manifestation goals, we're not offering them to one another, right? We're not offering them. If you say to someone, I want to get married, you're not saying to someone, will you be my wife, right? If you say to someone, I want to have a house, you're not saying to someone, will you buy a house with me? So the ability, if there's energy here that is saying to someone, and they're hitting a navigation point of someone saying, why are you trying to rush something? Why are you trying to rush me into telling you what I want? This is the energy that's recognizing the difference between there's no need to be patient in hearing what someone desires. But if someone tries to say you're trying to rush things, that is the energy that's basically trying to amplify and use that as an energetic blocker. Because what they're really saying is, I don't want to tell you my manifestation goals. And I'm building into that construct of accountability and saying that that's on you because you're asking, recognizing that energy that knows what their manifestation goals are will always feel at liberty to reveal them because they understand and recognize that telling someone what you dream doesn't mean that you're offering it. You're telling them what you aspire to see if they're in alignment to it. So we see even now that a lot of that energy, I can see even now there could be some energy here that's moving away from someone and someone's getting upset and saying you're trying to rush things by asking this, and someone else going, no, I'm not. I can see someone literally going, actually, I'm not. I'm not trying to rush anything. You're trying to delay something. Definition between someone that says you're trying to rush something is the energy trying to delay something. So often when someone says you're trying to rush something, what's really happening is you're saying you're making it impossible for me to delay something. So we see even now a lot of that recognition that is coming through for the energy and separation that is building into a point of clarity that's helping the energy not take accountability or feel bad, because I see here that there's a lot of energy that's been holding themselves accountable and feeling like I tried to push someone too quickly, recognizing you didn't try to push anyone too quickly in the past. Someone who said to you, you're rushing things and you ruined it because you rushed it, what they were really saying is, you ruined it because you didn't let me delay this longer. You didn't let me delay this longer. So we see even now a lot of that energetic healing coming through right now in the breakthrough point and understanding that. So a lot of that is just coming through. And that ability to heal from that is like immediately helping energy just move forward right now. Now for masculine and feminine energy that is coming in, because like again, they keep saying the ability to articulate is not the commitment to someone. It's showing the path work and again, the clarity of choice that is amplified and allowing someone to make that choice as to whether they want that too. While for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union right now, this is energy that's either healing, coming into the place of desiring those manifestation goals, and maybe even saying to one another, I didn't want these things before, now I do. This is a lot of energy that's saying like recognizing those changes from the past here. I see it. There's a lot of this energy that's coming into focus and they're building into that. And this is the energy that's taking those lessons from the past and building forth in that way. And as well, this is either that, or this is the energy in separation that is feeling profound healing in the modality of experiencing something where someone gave them the opportunity and said, that's not for me. But in the minute that someone gives someone that choice, that is the standard that they're holding themselves to going forward, because this is the energy going, look how easy it can be. Look how easy it can be when we navigate from a space of honesty. While for masculine and feminine energy deep within divine union right now, I just see a lot of this work occurring right now, deep within divine union. There's emotional unpacking here. There's a lot of emotional unpacking that's happening right now. For masculine energy particularly, deep within divine union. Because so much of this work that I'm seeing right now within divine union is, I want to say, there's a lot of this like sense of trying to give forth and support. And I want to say this, we saw this a few days ago with feminine helping a lot of other feminine energy. I see a lot of masculine energy right now, like within divine union, trying to help other masculine energy right now within divine union. This could be a lot of advice. This could be a lot of clarity. I just see a lot of this energy right now coming forward in some way. But I want to say this is why being able to navigate a state or space of like not taking something personally, this is now allowing for a lot of karmic healing to occur. Because this is the energy that, like, as long as you didn't take something personally, like now, it feels to me like there's a lot of balance that's starting to get restored right now, coming out of this retrograde in relationality to clarity, particularly in terms of like what's been going on with others' path work, especially in these scenarios where there was some kind of point of like silence or a lack of communication or some kind of energetic holdup. Final card for today's spread, between our Five of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our Knight of Wands in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification coming through right now with our Hierophant card, which we will be studying on September 11th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern, if you'd like to join our tarot class. A lot of this work that we're effectively seeing right now within the divine union. Like, this is about, I told you, everything about this retrograde has been built upon and based upon consistency, patience, consistency, pathwork of determination, like building forward. Again, pathwork of purpose is not determined by what's going on outside or around you. Pathwork of purpose is determined in terms of what direction you plan to go, and you move in that direction and you stay purposeful on that path. And you don't take things energetically personally, because when you're on a pathwork of purpose, you're not doing it for the self. You're doing it because of your higher purpose. So we see even now that for a lot of the energy navigating those spaces and places, that sense of like integrity, that sense of like navigating forward in such a way, we see even here. There's something about that feels very, I want to say, it feels very cathartic. It feels very healing. And I see even now, like, a lot of energy helping those around them that are going through some experiences right now that they may feel like more energetically confusing at this time. Because, and this is how the energy within divine union is helping through that, is helping others recognize and how to find that from within. I just see that happening to a certain extent here. A lot of that sense of support. And again, I just see a lot of that energy coming towards someone through some of those experiences and being apologetic And the energy is just kind of saying, like, there's nothing to apologize for, you know, because that's almost like that's a bit of that work that we see that is occurring here. Like, that's the energy that is staying very focused and not working through something in such a way that they're letting it get to them because they're so focused and committed towards what they're doing. You know, like this is always the energy having someone say, I'm sorry, and be like, I'm sorry, what? I was busy doing this. Like, right. And so some of this here, I even got to say, I feel like there's some kind of energy here coming into divine union where people are like being apologetic, and the energy being like, you have nothing to apologize for. You know what I mean? Like, almost being like, you know what I mean? Because that's how focused we see so much of this energy is. While for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union, a lot of this work that I'm seeing that's happening right now is the energy coming into a sense of deeper commitment. And one of the things I think is important here, and I need to stress this, I do see that there is a lot of energy, like there's a lot of, and I need to stress this right now, you know, and it's coming through specifically for masculine energy. Remember, if you're holding regret around the past, congratulations, because that means that you're healing. If you're looking at something that you wish that you could have done better, well, you're doing it better now, right? Often that pathwork is one that we hold a lot of space of regret for ourselves. But that ability of holding regret is a sign that you're healing. You're looking at something that you used to do and you didn't think about it. Now you have regret for it. That means that you've changed. So let that be a moment of remembering that that is part and parcel for being on the right path. So hold firm on that to a certain extent. Because I just see even now a lot of this energy coming into divine union is building into a space. It's the recognition that the energetic commitment we make in terms of partnership isn't one we make to our partner. It's the energetic commitment that we make to ourselves in relationality to what we choose and how we choose to move going forward. So we see that. And for a lot of the masculine energy moving towards feminine in this way, a lot of it, I keep getting reaffirmed commitment in building into the integrity of those energetic connections. And that's beautiful. That's very healing. And I see even now, and that's why I'm getting even now, if there's energy that came into separation at a moment that the articulation of the manifestation goal wasn't met, this is why the energy is still moving towards divine union, because this is the energy that is feeling the confidence and the support of the self and being able to do something in that way that speaks more towards the sense of integrity versus just moving towards something that would immediately gratify or fulfill the individual desire, but not be in integrity in the process. While for masculine and feminine energy right now in separation, this is why the energy is moving forward right now from experiences that they would have overly internalized or devastated them. It's simply by recognizing and reaffirming that not all energy desires healthy energetic connection. It's not, some energy moves away from it. Some energy fears it. Some energy feels like that is the end of path work. So we see even now that ability of recognizing that and seeing, and the ability to articulate, the ability to hear someone speak towards what they desire, that is the energy that has made a healthy relationship with their own manifestation goals. They don't just stumble into them and then act like they don't know what they're doing there. They move with intentionality. They move with purpose. And so we see even now, like, this is a lot of energy I'm seeing even now moving away from someone who does not seem like they have that understanding, is the commitment to the self, because that is the energy that moves towards our manifestation goals, because we move towards our manifestation goals by saying, I will accept nothing less than the manifestation goal, right? Like, that's how you move towards your manifestations. Bottom of the deck on this reading right now is our Eight of Wands in its reversal. So for masculine and feminine energy right now, this is the disparity point. Like this, a lot of these, this is the Mercury retrograde to a certain extent. The slowdowns, right? The slowdowns, the stillness that we often experience during these retrogrades, right? All of this work that we see, it can feel very frustrating. It can feel very confounding. It can make you really question yourself. But when you're navigating from spaces and places of, again, finding your energetic purpose is often that modality of experiencing something to a certain extent that you don't let those things navigate you away from it. So we see even now masculine and feminine energy. And this is the thing that's difficult for some of the energy and separation. I told you, one of the difficulties for energy and separation right now is looking towards someone if they're not getting that communication that they aspire and desire, and saying, maybe that's someone that is too afraid to reveal what it is that they desire. Maybe that is someone that is building, that does not have the confidence. Maybe there's someone there that, like, there's a lot of this energy I see even now, that the energy is almost saying to themselves as they move forward, what if I wait a little longer? Maybe that'll come through. But this is the energy that's also learned those lessons in the past of saying that when we move towards someone and say, I'm not receiving what I would desire, but maybe if I wait a little longer, what we're really saying is, I don't desire this person energetically. I'm literally walking towards this person saying, I want them to change, right? So that ability of recognizing the change in the self, having to catch yourself doing that. If you move towards someone and say, they're not giving me what I want, but maybe if I wait a little longer, they'll give me something that I'm seeking. There's your first mistake, because in that moment, you're catching yourself saying, I don't desire this person energetically. I am moving towards them with the desire to see them change. So that ability of seeing that, catching oneself doing that, it requires you to recognize what you need to change in yourself in the process, because that is something that, seeing that, now you've seen something within yourself, right? We don't do that, right? While for masculine and feminine energy that comes into divine union, a lot of this work coming into divine union right now is the energy taking accountability for experiences or places in the past where it may have felt like you were your own energetic blocker. But again, that ability of recognizing that is usually a path of healing, because you're seeing and recognizing aspects of the self that you're hoping to change as you continue to move forward. While for masculine and feminine energy deep within divine union right now, a lot of this work that we're seeing, this is like navigating the hurdles and frustrations between like how you're trying to communicate with others versus how they're communicating with you. So I see even now this could be a lot of unpacking in terms of like the feeling of someone misunderstanding something or not grasping something, or trying to like working through the viability point and how far you're willing to explain something versus against something that feels like it's energetic blockage. So this is a little bit of that path work of determining patience via the energetic standards. That is our daily collective read for the day. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and sharing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video, and if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber name at the point of payment. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading with me, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my website, and I encourage you to do it there. Also, a couple of updates for anyone joining us today. Thank you so much. If you came to our last tarot class, our next tarot class will be held on Wednesday, September 11th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our tarot studies with an exploration into the Hierophant card. So if you would like to become a part of that class program, just head over to my Substack. Your paid subscription to my Substack will grant you your entry and access to each month's live classes. You'll also receive access to all of our previous class recordings And course materials, so you've got ample opportunity to catch up in your studies prior to the next class. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything that we're learning. And if you become a founding member to my Substack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, but you'll also receive a complimentary mentorship class with me, wherein we will assess where you are in your own personal tarot journey, and I'll give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage going forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice reader as well as the seasoned tarot reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. So I want to thank you if you've already joined that class, and I look forward to potentially seeing you at our next one. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings, services. I post my weekly newsletter there, which will give you my full weekly live schedule. You'll also get to know if you won any of our giveaways. Speaking of giveaways, we're just about to wrap up our August giveaway. So if you would like to get on the list to win a free tarot reading with me, head over to the link tree in my bio. There is a 2-minute travel survey there. Filling out that travel survey will grant you an entry into the giveaway. But if you would like to increase your chances of winning, go ahead and forward that survey to a friend, because when I pull the winner, I will not only be giving away a free reading to the person who wins, but I will also be giving one away to the person who referred them. So thank you for entering, and I wish you the best of luck of winning this month. Finally, I want to let you guys know that on top of standard life path readings, I now offer additional services, including mentorship classes, which can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series. That is 4 45-minute classes, one per week over the span of a month, that you that are focused on whatever area or course of interest that you are interested in learning more about. I take a very limited number of students for this reason. Also, for my clients that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to be offering weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, one per week over the course of a month, so that you can stay more consistent on your own journey. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again